shopping for produce in the grocery store? I'm sure most of you have. But have you ever noticed when looking for the best tomato, let's say, you look for the best one on the shelf? Yes, it's okay because that's what we're all used to, right? I'm sure anyone would pick a ripe red tomato over one with a cut or bruise. But my question is for you, what is wrong with the cut or bruise? Couldn't you just cut it right off? You're probably thinking, okay, what is she even talking about here? It all started in my AP Human Geography class. We were discussing agriculture and its impact on us and the environment. We watched a short clip on a peach farmer showing the process of peaches from the farm to our tables. He was very upset to report that 40% of his peaches are thrown out due to not looking good enough for us. He also said something that caught my attention. The fruit is edible, but not edible for the supermarket. This made me so angry. I just sat speechless in my seat, thinking of how many people you could feed with that much food. The video continued to say how America throws away 1/2 of our food that costs $165 million a year, but still leaves 465 million people using food banks. If we are making 2 times the amount of food we need to begin with, why is there worldwide starvation? I yearn to know more. The lecture continued with a new approach to agriculture in the Netherlands. My teacher proceeded to tell me that the Netherlands produce enough food to feed the entire world. Yep, that's right. It's the globe #2 exporter of food, only measured by value, to second to the United States, which has 270 times its landmass, according to National Geographic. With the help of new technology, they use greenhouses equipped with LED lights that grow food faster and more efficiently. They've almost completely eliminated the use of chemical pesticides on plants in greenhouses, and since 2009, Dutch poultry and livestock producers have cut their use of antibiotics as much as 60%. I was shocked. I was so confused, and it just didn't add up. How could someplace so small produce so much food? So of course, I went to Dr. Google to figure out exactly what was going on here. I found so many reasons, and the Peace Corps states why. In some cases, communities may be unable to produce their own food locally because of inappropriate agricultural practices or technologies, lack of natural resources or productive land, climate constraints, emergency situations such as natural disasters or health constraints such as HIV or AIDS that prevent people from engaging in labor. Communities may be unable to import food from other places because of lack of foreign exchange, political unrest, and lack of transportation. As a 14-year-old girl, what does this mean to me? Those were just a bunch of words that didn't really make sense. But as I thought about it, I realized the heartbreaking news. It doesn't matter the reason it's happening. There are people only a few miles away and all across the world who are unsure of what they will eat for their next meal. I ask you to just sit and think about that. There are people only a few miles away from here and all across the world who are unsure of what they will eat for their next meal. Have you ever had to experience that? Because I shouldn't have before I had thought about it until this moment. I was devastated. Just to imagine that made me want to cry. I felt so selfish to think I never understood it. The next day, we continued our lesson, and our teacher presented some pictures of what a family around the world eats in 1 week. This is the Revis family in their kitchen of their home in suburban Raleigh, North Carolina, with a week's worth of food. Altogether, it costs around $250. This is the Abu Bakr family in Darfur Province, Sudan, in front of their tent in Beijing refugee camp in eastern Chad, with a week's worth of food. Altogether, this costs less than $5. Just look at that comparison. As you can already imagine, my heart was aching. Then I wondered if anybody in my class had felt this way too. Surely I wasn't the only one oblivious to this major fact. And as I started thinking, I was thinking, what am I doing? And what can I do? I immediately found so many different ways we can help this cause. No, I'm not asking for a huge load of $1 million that will just solve the problem like this. We need to take it step by step. First, limit your portion sizes. The average calorie intake of the average American person in the US has increased by 20% by 1970. 2, be aware of the amount of food you're purchasing. A study conducted by National Geographic showed that as Americans, we waste so much food, it's like going to the grocery store, buying 4 bags of food, dropping one in the parking lot, and just leaving it there. 3, donate to your local food bank. There are multiple right here in Ogden. 4, and finally, and if you can, donate your most precious asset, time. When you donate your time, you can't replace it. It means more to show to you something that you can't ever get back. This is what I decided I need to do. Since I was 7, I've been a part of Modern Women of America. As a member of their youth service club, I was able to recently visit St. Anne's Lantern House in Ogden. We were taught why this is so important to serve not only to the homeless, but to us as well. We served the homeless lunch, and I was in charge of serving peaches. I remember feeling such a warm feeling in my heart knowing what I was doing was helping others. I was very surprised to see the amount of children in line. But as I was serving, I remembered how I felt before when I thought of how many there were without a secure food source every day. It made me feel better to be a part of a change. And I tell you all this not to only open your eyes, but to make you want to do something about it. When I first saw the flyer for TEDxWahlquist, I knew this was my chance to share my message. I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk to all of you today. And one last thing, I challenge you all to see the potential in the bruised tomato. Thank you.